I've been lying to myself for months about my putting, and today that ends. There's something mysterious about a 30-foot putt. It's a distance that begins to test every player. A distance I struggle from. A problem I can't seem to fix. Alright, this problem is larger than I thought. What if I can't actually do this?
I think it's time to start fixing my problems.
Look, I need to tell you something I've been avoiding. My putt is bad. Like, embarrassingly bad at times. There's no more avoiding it, because problems will only persist unless you seek solutions. Some solutions are tangible, and some are a little more abstract.
There's no doubt that putting separates the good players from the not so good ones. That's why we're going to fix the putt. Honestly, the tee's not scaring me as much anymore. Tee shots, I've got confidence. It's the putting green that I'm just a hot mess.
We solve countless problems before we step out the front door each day. We're pretty good at it when we put in an effort. This particular hole in my game has persisted for years, and like any puzzle worth solving, it starts with careful examination and identifying the issue itself.
These birds keep pooping on our pantries.
You made it all the way over the bush.
Good job.
My concern on the putting green lies here. This is the middle portion of the green. Excluding the longer putts because I gotta figure out the shorter ones first, and also excluding tap-ins. This, statistically, is called Circle 1X. And my Circle 1X putting percentage hovers around 50%. That's like, for context, a basketball player missing half of their free throws. This is a zone where putts should be fairly automatic, where confidence lives, where I don't.
Weak. By the end of this month, I want to beat the best putting performance I've ever had, which was on this exact course just a couple months ago at the Swanky business meeting tournament. I was 2 awful putts away from winning it. So I feel like if I can clean that up, it's a good gauge of the putt improving.
60% putting from Circle 1X. Just 2 more and I win. I mean, 2. It's like the story of my disc golf life. I'm beating it, or quitting putting altogether. Well, maybe I can't do that. First, the putt in question. I need to work to understand it to know what's actually broken. My putt has steadily evolved over the years. For a while, I was a straddle putter. At one point, I just committed to a harsh angle out of the hand.
I was pretty hopeless.
So heading into this month, my putt looks like this. I want it to be a spin putt, but I get nervous and it becomes a push putt most often. My body is slightly lined up to the left,
For some reason it's more comfortable, or it's just what I've gotten used to.
I twist my leg until I feel the muscle in my thigh tighten slightly, and then it's go time. My grip is as such. Hit a pump fake for confidence in the line.
Then I miss.
Usually.
Although sometimes I make them. Sometimes, being the key word.
It's not the most comfortable I've ever been putting, but it's where I'm at.
I've always been intrigued by how problems reveal themselves through repetition. I've been playing disc golf for years now, and it's the same thing that's messed up with my putt over and over and over again. And the good news there is that if the variables are never changing, then the solution should be fairly simple to discover. So if we boil down the variables, it comes down to really three things. First being power. Some of my misses are high, some of my misses are low. It's a power problem. Entirely inconsistent. Sometimes I'm putting in a full effort, most of the time half effort at best. I need some way to nail down how to get consistent power every single putt. The next would be my aiming point ultimately. I've changed how I aim over the years. I've looked at different locations. I need to settle on one. If I miss to a side, it's usually the left. Oftentimes chain height, but left. I would think that's probably the easiest variable to fix. And the final variable would ultimately be form. Something that removes as many additional variables as possible. Probably just something straight. I don't know. That's the one that has the most question marks.
I've been calling my putt inconsistent for years, and by inconsistent, it's really a nice way of just saying that it's bad. So now with some variables identified, it's time to start over. A new form is the start. More simple, less thinking, more trusting. I've noticed really two simple things. The direction that my foot is facing directly results in the direction that the disc is released most frequently. Let me show you. In my old stance, my body was slanted, so oftentimes the disc would come out at any number of angles. It was hard to predictably throw it straight ahead. But by simply straightening out my foot, it's a simple fix, really. It results in my body ultimately doing the work of keeping the disc on a straight line and just needing to bring the disc directly back, directly forward. It's such a simple fix, but the only problem is it's new, so it might take a little while to actually set in. After adjusting the form, generating power became the focus.
For my power woes, I think the solution lies in rhythm. Disc golf feels like a very rhythmic sport. It's musical in a certain sense. It goes along with a tempo, and if I can get the timing, I feel like my power lies there. A very rhythmic pace to the putt. Is that it?
I kept trying to throw hard when I was nervous. Like somehow force would fix accuracy. It doesn't. Consistent power isn't maximum power. It's predictable power. It's not the speed a disc travels that will make it impressive. It's the fact that it even makes it into the basket. I feel like I'm getting the disc out a little more consistently, but now, as I expected, where I'm aiming needs to change. When I'm staring down a basket, I've always heard to pick a chain. but I've also heard just to play catch with the basket, looking at it as a whole. I'm typically doing something in between, aiming somewhere in this range. But I noticed pretty quickly that the new consistency and power was lifting my putts a little bit more. So I needed to aim a tad lower, and even more central given the form changes. These became the focus, 3 solutions: a centered and natural form, more consistent power, and an aiming point that I can trust. And maybe even a more important 4th, learning to trust the process.
I knew that at some point along the way I was gonna tackle putting. Honestly, the initial idea for the video was to just do like 100 putts a day, something about consistency and repetition, and my hope was that that was gonna fix it all. I'm glad I didn't do that. I think that would have just cemented bad habits and what I'm trying to avoid. And I think in life in general, oftentimes my bad habits cement because I don't take the time to fix them. I don't put in the effort. I honestly think that a lot of things are just going to fix themselves. If I just avoid it and put it off, it'll eventually solve itself, which I know never happens, but it's a blind hope. I don't want to do that anymore. I think it's about stepping out the front door. It's about doing something. Like even this morning, I was hoping for a beautiful sunrise, and I got this. I came out to film yesterday and tried to get a sunrise, which yesterday was actually gorgeous. But I missed it because I didn't bring the equipment that I thought I did, but I still showed up. I saw it.
With a new appreciation for seeking solutions, it was finally time to attempt solving the main problem of this month. Challenge day had arrived. At this point, can I make 10 30-footers consecutively? Probably not. But can I putt 60% from circle 1X? Can I beat my best performance to date?
The bar has been set, and I shot a 7 under. I don't really care about score. I care about putting percentage, because that indicates if I've actually improved anything. The beauty is that in that tournament, I didn't shoot from the back tees, but I shot from the front tees. So I get to do that again today. It should help me to get into circle 1 more frequently. That'll do. That's 1 so far. 100%. You know those putts that you're like strangely nervous standing over? There's no reason to be nervous, but you are? What was that one? It showed. Come back. Drop. Using my form, I'm getting the power I want. I'm not using my aiming point. For some reason, haven't been doing that. Time to start. Instinctually, I've been aiming where I used to aim, not where I aim anymore.
Usually when I try to learn something, I'm halfway out the door before I start. Dad life, husband duties, work. I'm always teaching, seldom stopping to learn. Every opportunity to learn this month has become focused and really refreshing.
All right, no more dumb misses. Done with those.
And you know what's funny about progress is that sometimes it looks like failure. But even my worst attempts now make sense. I have a better understanding of why they're failing. And I'm reminded that failure is the first step towards success. I didn't fully fix my putting in a month. That's not how I expected it to work. But I did fix my relationship with the problem.
It's a good thing I'm not super worried about tee shots.
I don't think learning should be defined by eloquent explanations of what's occurring or even direct results and stats, but rather these small discoveries, willing to be bad at something until I'm not. Next tournament, I'll still miss putts, and probably a lot of them, but I'll understand a little more of why. And that's where solutions lie, and the space between the miss and the understanding why.
I think that putt alone made this month worth it. Oh, it was awesome. And at the beginning of this month, I would have 100% airballed that one.
We solve problems every day, some more satisfying than others, but the method remains the same. Just get out there. Progress happens when you take a step, even if those steps only bring you 30 feet.
With that circle one make on 18, it puts me 10 of 16 for the round. Literally 62%, 2% better than I started. You know what that means? Progress. Minimal progress, but minimal progress is progress. And that is exactly what we were going for. See you on the first.